2-1 win away at high-flying Hoffenheim at the weekend. Hoffenheim have a little bit of a wobble of late. Good win, though, away from home for Mainz. It pretty much cements their status as a top-flight club for another season. From that, they make 2 changes, and it's largely due to injury, I'm afraid. Geraldo Becker is sidelined through injury, the striker that started at the weekend, so Nelson Viper comes in. And there's a change in midfield. It's a blow because Jae-Sung Lee, the experienced Korean playmaker, has picked up a slight strain, we understand, in training and misses out tonight. He's not being risked, so the Japanese midfielder Sota Kawasaki gets his chance on loan from Kyoto Sanga. Big night for him. So they line up with Bats in goal. Da Costa, Posch and Koa are the back 3. Vidma, the captain, at right wing back, and then Philip Nguyen at left wing back, and then Nabel, Sano and Kawasaki in midfield. Viper and Tietz leading the line. Up on the bench, they've got Saib, they've got Boving, Maloney, Imafidon, Moreno, Fell, Potolski, Varachnik and Gleiber, plus 2 substitute goalkeepers in Luis Babats and Lassaris. Well, their opponents are Strasbourg, comfortable 3-1 win against struggling Nice on Friday night. And from that, they make just the 1 change, slightly defensive-minded. The attacking midfielder Sebastian Nanasi is removed from the 11 and is on the bench, and in comes the highly rated Valentin Barco, the Argentine who was once with Brighton, and he starts in a 3-man midfield. So here's how Strasbourg line up. Very young team as well. Mike Penders on loan from Chelsea in goal. A back 4 of Guela Dewey. That's Desiree Dewey's older brother. Desiree Dewey, another goal on the big stage in the Champions League last night. Andrew Obamadeli and Ishmael Doucouré, the captain, are the central defenders. Ben Chilwell, the Englishman, is at left back. Samir El Murabat, Maxi Oyadeli and Valentin Barco are 3 very talented midfielders. A 20-year-old and 2 21-year-olds in that midfield. And then Martial Godo in excellent form, the former Fulham man. 14 goals this season, 4 in this competition. He's on the left. Gessim Yassim continues on the right. And Julio Enciso will once again lead the line. Omabama Deli and Barco are the 2 players who could miss out on the second leg if they pick up a yellow tonight. Well, on the bench for Strasbourg, Nanasi Amiga, who was scoring goals at a great rate, and not a Dutchman last season. He's really been injury hit this season. 2 goalkeepers in Kirchkat and Johnson, and then Amuga, Rafael Luiz, Hugsberg, Moreira, Amu Amaye, Kodia and Jean-Baptiste Bossé. There's a minute's applause at the moment for Mircea Lucescu, who recently passed away in the last couple of days, just days after standing down, the 81-year-old, as the head coach of Romania. Very highly respected coach around the footballing world, and he is remembered by the crowd and everyone, including the players, inside the Mayvar Arena tonight. Well, we are ready to do business. The referee tonight is from Slovenia. It's Radi Obranovic. His compatriots with the flags are Yuri Praprotnik and Gregor Koresh. And then Martin Matusa is the 4th official. Matti Jug and Alan Borashak are your VAR. No Panikeli for Strasbourg tonight. He's picked up a serious knee injury. 20 goals this season. He is out for the season, which is a blow. He was on the periphery of the consideration for the Argentine World Cup squad. He will miss out on the World Cup, sadly, as well. Strasbourg have brought an army of fans that will make plenty of noise in this and the second leg back in France. It's not a rivalry because these two have just never met competitively before, even though they are just around the corner from one another. On the banks of the Rhine, it's Mainz against Strasbourg. Strap in and get ready. This could be a blistering Conference League quarter-final encounter. Not a spare seat to be had in this excellent arena. At the Mayvar Arena, it's all set as Strasbourg get us underway in all blue tonight. They usually have the white shorts with this strip, but it's all blue tonight for Strasbourg. It's the red and white shirts of Mainz with the white shorts and the red socks as Ismail Doucouré plays it back to the highly talented young 20-year-old goalkeeper Mike Penders. Now he's 6'7". He's got a mistake in him, but listen, he's learning all the time and he's a fantastic shot stopper, and confidence comes out of his ears with smoke. He's a goalkeeper that if he can just iron things out will be something very, very special, I'm sure. Here is Ismail Doucouré, the former Valenciennes player, just 22 years of age, the skipper of the side. It is a very young side. 29-year-old Ben Chilwell, left back, who's on the ball at the moment, is the one exception. He is the only player out there over the age of 23. They've got three 23-year-olds in Banadelli and Doué and Godot. As Mainz come forward looking for an early opportunity, they might get one here. It's a shot towards goal and it's just wide from Nelson Viper. It was a good ball into him from Paul Nebel. Viper took it across his body and lashed it right-footed. Vipers looked up there and wasn't the kindest of angles. Chilwell slid in and made it almost impossible to hit the target from there. Lost 11 games, winning 8 in the Bundesliga this season. They were hoping for better, but quite clearly happy that they are nowhere near a relegation zone. They've improved as the season's gone on. Around about October time, they were serious relegation consideration. Here's Barco, fabulous talent for Strasbourg. Long ball hoisted down the middle. It's one to chase for Julio Enciso, former Brighton man. In fact, they're both former Brighton men. Valentino Barco is also once of Brighton. Straight through to Daniel Batz in the Mainz goal at 35 years of age. He is the oldest on the pitch tonight. 15 years older than his opposite number. It's a nice hold-up play by Nelson Viper that started intelligently near here of Mainz. With the cross coming in is a little on the heavy side from Sylvain Widmer, the experienced Swiss captain, the oldest outfield player on the pitch tonight, and able to put in a dangerous cross. Well, coach Urs Fischer of Mainz is clear in the mindset that his side need to be winning tonight to take an advantage of some sort with them to the second leg at the Stade de la Manu. 3 minutes gone here, and the referee stopped play because of an injury to Dominic Cure, the former Frankfurt player. It has been given as a free kick, which Keishu Sanu is going to take. Two Japanese players in that midfield, Sanu and Kawasaki, and it is going to be Keishu Sanu to take. How much will they miss Jae Song Lee in the midfield tonight? We will wait and see. This young Strasbourg side put to the test early on here by Mainz. They don't want to be conceding an early goal. Keishu Sanu whips it in. It's an interesting ball. It's held up to the edge of the box. Shot comes in and deflects away to the far side. It's from Nebel. A shot and good blocking. So Strasbourg's defence do their job. And it has been a very lively start from the German side, who are on paper the favourites in this tie, the stronger Bundesliga stands out, even though Strasbourg having a much better season. And as Strasbourg have pointed out in the run-up to this, they're the only French side still in 3 competitions this year, because they're still in the Coupe de France, and they play Nice, who they beat 3-1 on Saturday evening. And they play them again in the semi-final of the Coupe de France in a couple of weeks at home. You'd fancy them for that. Got to be really strong contenders to win the Coupe de France this season, Strasbourg. Mainz, though, have a corner. Referee is dishing out some orders to Stefan Posch, who's back up from the back on loan from Como in Italy. Stefan Posch, the Austrian, who will be going to the World Cup. In it comes the corner. It's glanced away by Godot, and it's a good glance as well because it takes it away from the penalty area. And it's with Sanu. He goes all the way back to Philippe Moena. Moena, an Austrian as well. 2 Austrians in that back line of 5, as well as a Swiss, a German. In fact, 2 Germans in that back line. It's a long ball is planted forward, straight into the head of Doucouré. Gets it away. They're not really picking up too much in that midfield at the moment. Or Strasbourg, that needs to change. Ball into the box. It's chested down by Uyadeli. Nice and calm and tidy, given that Mike Penders, the goalkeeper, was shouting at him from behind to leave it. But he didn't. He took it into his stride. Here's his Ben Chilwell down by the corner flag, happy to just put the ball out of play for a throw-in to Mainz. Started on the front foot. It is very much one-way traffic at the moment. It doesn't seem to be alarming. Gary O'Neill down on the touchline, and his assistants Tim Jenkins and Neil Critchley. They've got to try and find a way to settle into the game, not concede whilst this pressure is being mounted on them. This is Chilwell, but he has been pushed over by Sano, and that will be a free kick to Strasbourg, and that will be light relief as well. So if you are just joining us, welcome. Conference League quarter-final first leg. Mayvar Arena, Mainz 0, Strasbourg 0. Mainz currently 9th, Strasbourg currently 8th in the league placings in France. Might be only 1 place between them, but they've lost 4 less games than Mainz have, Strasbourg, and they do have the ability to catch up with Stade Rennes, but their realistic route to Europe is going to be this competition. And they've got themselves forward for a throw-in right down by the corner flag. Guiladoué takes it back to Barco, a confident young man, and played forward by El Mourabat, who had an impressive game against Nice at the weekend. He was actually at fault for the Nice goal, but then he scored one and made one. Very entertaining contribution to that game in a 3-1 win. Just starting to settle into it now. Barco in the midfield for Strasbourg. Carries it out to the left-hand side. Good touch by Godot, and Ciso is sent tumbling to the floor, but it was a fair and crisp challenge by Danny da Costa. And goalkeeper Bats comes out with his left foot, clears long downfield. Doué has all the time in the world to control it and bring it back up towards the halfway line. Just over 8 minutes gone. Mainz 0, Strasbourg 0. It's Gessim Yassim, a young 20-year-old winger on this near side, the right-hand side. Strasbourg, by the way, kicking from left to right in the first half as we sit here over the halfway line. Mainz have dominated the early exchanges. Now it's Strasbourg demonstrating that they are very much in this game, but it's been given away rather lightly by Doucouré. They can't afford to do that too often. Nebo winning it back, and it's been shunted wide by Sanu to Moena. Moena cuts inside. It's a deep cross, and Penders decided to come very early. It was the right decision, and he came and he got fists to it, and with those knuckles the ball travels promptly away to the far side for a throw-in on the Mainz left, down towards the corner flag. Sylvain Widmer is preparing to launch a long throw into the box, but he goes short in the end. This is Danny da Costa, gets the cross in, trying to get on the end of it. There's the big striker Philippe Tietz Augsburg player. He got the winner at Hoffenheim at the weekend. In fact, he got both goals, but there's a long ball over the top, and goalkeeper bats is out to head it away, and he had Enciso rushing in on him. However, flag has gone up against Enciso. Just offside as he cut between the two defenders a little early. They are currently 6 points behind 7th place Rennes. 7th should be a European spot, 6th will. 6 is definite, and that's 5 points ahead of where they are at the moment, Strasbourg. Got Rennes at home this weekend, a game they have to win. Then they've got no game this weekend, I beg your pardon. Then they've got Mainz at home, Rennes at home, and Nice at home. Here's an effort from the edge of the box. Oh, that's a fabulous goal. Oh, yes, an opening goal. And it came out of absolutely nowhere. What a hit from Keshusanu. He's got the ball on the edge of the box. I thought he was going to play it wide, and he just hit it. And it flew over the goalkeeper and in. 11 minutes gone, and it's Mainz that take the lead with a bolt out of the blue, quite literally. It caught everyone by surprise. But Keshusanu knew exactly what he was doing. And the one thing that Strasbourg didn't want to do here tonight was give away an early goal. Driven forward by Yassin. He gives the ball away. It's driven forward down the left, comes inside, and he just floats one over the goalkeeper. It took a wicked deflection off of the captain, Ismail Doucouré, on its way. But don't take it away from the midfielder, Keshusanu. Well, he's only got the one Bundesliga goal to his credit this season, but that is a shattering blow for Strasbourg as the shot deflects off of the knee of Doucouré, flying in off the post. What a strike from Keshusanu to give Mainz an early lead here. Just what they needed. And now it is going to be a test for Sanu. He's played 9 games in this competition this season, Sanu. So far, that's his first goal. Overdue, well worth the wait. Good strike, although it did take a deflection. I think they'll be overly concerned. Well, they've got to respond now, have Strasbourg. Here's Enciso over the top from from Valentin Barco. Beg your pardon. Barco, such an influence in that midfield. Needs to be on the money tonight, does Barco. Try and get something back in this game as soon as possible. These might have that early advantage. They've got to try and hold on to it. Mainz, they've been a better side so far. Long ball out towards Godo. Haven't seen too much of him. He's in inspirational form. He's offside though. Flag promptly raised by Yuri Prakrotnik on the near side. Keshusanu hits a perler to give his side the early advantage here. It is a free kick. It is going to be taken by Daniel Batz, the goalkeeper. In the early stages in the Europa League tonight, 3 ties in the quarter-final. Bologna 0, Villa 0. It's Porto 1, Nottingham Forest 1, and Freiburg of Germany leading against Celta Vigo of Spain by a goal to 0. Some great games tonight. Here come Mainz again, looking for more. It drops for Enciso, who can turn and carries the ball forward and finds Barco. Barco with his gloves on. It's still a chilly night feeds it back to Enciso. That's good, strong defending by Danny Da Costa. William Gomez with a goal for Porto. Martin Fernandez with an own goal, levelling things off for Forest just 2 minutes later. Here come Strasbourg, and Decore gets it out wide to Goda. Want to see him trying to take on Vidma. He hasn't yet. Vidma gets his clearance away, only as far as Valentin Barco. Back again to Decore. Got to keep their heads about them. Gueladue gets it wide, and on the right hand side it is Barco again. Barco inside to El Marabat, wide from Doué. Neat turn from Yassin in towards the penalty area. Not the best of balls though to Enciso. It's cleared away. Earlier on, Raul Vallecano beating the Greek side AEK Athens 3-0 in the first leg. Good win that for the Spaniards. It's currently Palace 0, Fiorentina 0. Here it's Mainz 1, Strasbourg 0. The other two games playing at the moment in the Europa League, both 0-0. Shakhtar Donetsk against AZ Alkmaar is goalless as well. Former Senegalese boss Aliou Cissé has today been named as boss of Angola on a 4-year contract, and the two African players playing in the French league. A couple of Angolans in and around the top clubs as well. So here comes Strasbourg with El Morabat, tries to get the cross in. It falls nicely to Yassin, having deflected off of Posh. Sent out wide by Gueladue. This is Barco, clever play to find Doué again. Can't get the cross in low. It's clever defending by Dominic Court to put the block in, but that's better from Strasbourg, putting some passes together and confidently pouring bodies forward to try and deliver the ammunition. But they're missing Panakelli. They do have Amiga on the bench, but he has played so little football this season. He's not quite ready to produce the form that made him such a hit last season. That's a great challenge from Decore. He was sprinting back to get there and take the ball away from Viper, but now it's with Vidma trying to run forward, but he's being matched stride for stride by Maxi Oyadeli, and the Polish international manages to clear. Oyadeli, 2 caps for Poland, former Manchester United man Oyadeli, then he went to Legia Warszawa. Here's Vidma again, holds it up nicely. Cross goes Keishisano, the goal scorer. It's Nibel. He's giving it away though. Rolled forward by Murabat, and then a shot towards goal, and down goes Mike Penders to tip the ball around the post. And it was a hit from Stefan Posch, on loan from Como in Italy. Bobbled up nicely for him and hit it, and I think it was just bending away from goal. By the time it bounced up, Penders had got down and pushed it away to ensure there was no difficulties. Posh with the effort. 1 goal in this competition this season. This is as far as he's got in terms of goal scoring. Mainz corner. They don't want to be conceding a second here, Strasbourg. Down at the end away to our left, which is where the Strasbourg fans are associated, and the ball comes in, and there is goal number 2. And this time Stefan Poch does connect better, and he puts the ball in the net, and he does score his 2nd goal of the season. Well, the Austrian hit that as it came in the corner. Before it could bounce, it came straight to him, and from 15 yards out, he side foots it beyond the goalkeeper. And there's no chance for Mike Penders, and it's 2-0 to Mainz. It's a fabulous start for the German side. Off to a flyer. Well, Stefan Poch almost scored for only the 2nd time this season. It was tipped round the post for a corner, but from the corner he was left largely on his own around about the region of the penalty spot. And he said thank you very much. He had all the time in the world to just guide this right-footed volley, carefully in-step driven beyond the static Penders and into the goal. There's a penalty, by the way, in the game between Crystal Palace and Fiorentina. It's gone to Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. Still Shakhtar Donetsk 0, AZ Alkmaar 0. Well, that was a good hit, that, from Posh, and they are really in the ascendancy at the moment, leading by 2 goals to 0-0. The 28-year-old Austrian defender, it's all about keeping the goals out at one end. His goal has given Mainz a really big cushion here. 2-0 they lead, and we've played just 20 minutes. Here's Do It. They've grown into the game, Strasbourg, but conceding that goal is a body blow. They needed that to go in, and Mainz have obliged with a cool finish, really, from Poch. I mean, it was just so much room afforded to him. That was the big problem for Strasbourg. They didn't pick him up, and the corner was very well worked. Gary O'Neill stands pensively, arms folded. He's done a very good job since coming in, because what many people don't seem to recall is that prior to leaving for Chelsea, Roseniak was not having a particularly good time with Strasbourg. They're on their worst run of the season when he went out of the door, and O'Neill very quickly picked them up, and as they are probably going to miss out on Europe, they are in the ascendancy since, with an improvement in form. And here come Strasbourg. Catch from Penders, bowls it out. Now the ball through the middle for Omarabat. That was a brilliant interception by Stefan Poch, but he's just scored at one end, but he's just denied Julio Enciso a clear run in on goal with the goalkeeper to beat. So 22 on the clock. Mainz leading 2-0. Here's Kawasaki, always busy in the midfield, wide to Vidma, plays it back to Da Costa. Da Costa driving forward, plays it to the feet of Tietz. Tietz a little loose on the pass out wide to Nebel, who's given it away. Jean-Philippe Mateta has scored from the penalty spot for Crystal Palace. It's Palace 1, Fiorentina 0. Dodo with the foul and the yellow card, and he'll miss the second leg as well. So advantage Palace in the quarter-final at Selhurst. It's double advantage here for Mainz, leading 2-0. And really now Strasbourg have got to try and pick up the pieces and make the second leg competitive. Here's Ben Chilwell just inside the Mainz half, away on the far side, which is the left-hand side, of course, as far as Strasbourg are concerned. Barco is inside to Samir El Murabat, young Moroccan 20-year-old who's come through the academy. Scored against Nice at the weekend. It's an excellent player. Here's Godot, who's in rich form. Gets into the byline, gets it across. Can he get the shot away? It just wouldn't come down for Valentin Barco, and it's cleared away. But that was an opportunity. Mainz happy to see that one cleared away, and Ciso closing in on the goalkeeper Batz, who clears upfield, and it's headed down by Tietz. Second ball picked up by El Murabat into the feet of El Murabat again from Barco. Godot to Ben Chilwell. Got to keep their heads of Strasbourg. They can't let things affect them. But meanwhile, in the Europa League in Italy, it's Bologna 1, Aston Villa 0. So Villa behind in their Europa League quarter-final first leg in Italy. Still a long way to go in that tie, obviously. Ball coming in from Danny Da Costa. It's cleared away and controlled neatly by Amrabat. Chase to keep the ball in play on this near side from Mwene. He does keep it in play, and it arcs back round again and into the penalty area. It's an own goal from Ezra Konsa, by the way, that's given Bologna the lead in Italy. Bologna 1, Villa 0. Barco gets it wide to Gueladue. Gueladue once of Rennes, who are the next league opponents for Strasbourg, who have been given a reprieve from the action this weekend. They are without a league game, them and PSG, as they can prepare for the second leg next Thursday. French Ligue 1 making the decision to protect their sides in the knockout competition phase of the European Cups. Here's Godot. He gets it back for Barco, and now Godot gets to the byline. Can he get the cross in? He pulls it back. It's a shot from Enciso. It's good defending from Dominic Coeur to block him, and then back out wide to Yassin. Gets it to Doué. Doué's cross came off of Philippe Mwene and behind for a corner. Much better. That goal from Bologna, by the way, has been disallowed by VAR, so it is still 0-0 in that game. It's Freiburg 1, Celta Vigo 0. It's Porto 1, Forest 1, and where there are goals in the Europa Conference League, Vallecano 3, AEK Athens 0 earlier, and Palace leading Fiorentina 1-0. Here it's Mainz 2, Strasbourg 0, but Strasbourg have a corner and are looking to get right back into this game. The goalkeeper is in the thick of a ruck in the penalty area. Philippe Tietz has gone back to offer his support. Barco whips it in. It's a good ball as well. It's a scorpion kick that goes over the bar from Gueladue, of all people, that's back there. But it was a good corner, and that caused a lot of problems there for the home side. It was improvisation. It just clipped the top of the crossbar on its way over. Couldn't get it clear, Dominic Coeur, and it could have been costly. Amrabat can't quite find Barco. Amrabat again, the holding midfielder, lifts it out wide. Yassin puts Mwene on the ground, but he bounces back up again and wins the second duel. Good defending that by the Austrian Philippe Mwene. Good hold up play by Tietz. They've gone with two big men up top, and they are big men as well. 6'4" and 6'3", Tietz and Viper. They are without Becker today. He's out injured. They're without Jae-Sung Lee, who is out with a slight knock as well that he picked up in training, a muscular injury yesterday. Here's Barco for Strasbourg, back into the side today after being left out against Nice at the weekend. Clearance away by Dominic Coeur. It's going to be cut out by Ismail Doucouré. Foul on Doucouré by Philippe Tietz. I think the referees pulled the play back into the Strasbourg half. A lot of pushing and shoving, and Omar Bamadeli had the shirt of Tietz, and it's actually going to be a free kick to Mainz. Header forward from Mwene. Foul goes Kawasaki. Foul by Doué. Referee quickly runs across, sprays his marker to mark the territory of the pitch where the free kick must be taken. Foul by Gueladue. Just went through the back of Kawasaki. Great start this from the German side. Mainz leading 2-0. There are just over 29 minutes on the clock, and they're looking to deliver another ball into the box now. Paul Nebel this time is preparing to take the free kick to the near post. It's headed away promptly by Julio Enciso, former Brighton Hove Albion man. And round the corner on the far side from Samir Murabat. It's into the penalty area, wouldn't quite come down for Philippe Tietz, and then cleared away by Doué, but not very far. Headed forward by Keur. This is Nelson Viper. Keur again. Right footed, whips it in. That's an interesting ball. Headed away by Doucouré. Crystal Palace 2, Fiorentina 0, and Freiburg 2, Celta Vigo 0. So 3 games now in the quarterfinals of the 2 competitions have a 2-0 early scoreline. And it's given away in the midfield rather cheaply by the midfield man Murabat. Murabat's going to get a yellow card, I think, for that. Is it Murabat? It's Guiladure. Guiladure is going to get a yellow card, but I think it's the foul earlier on Kawasaki that was close to a yellow. I think he's just gone and wiped out Seno, and that's a yellow card for him. Tyreek Mitchell with a second goal for Crystal Palace. They're in control of that tie, aren't they, against Fiorentina. You know what, Crystal Palace haven't played a Premier League game for over 4 weeks, and they've got to wait till this weekend before they return. I think it was something silly like a 23 day break. Here comes the free kick, and this time it's a free kick that lands in the arms of goalkeeper Mike Penders. Nothing he can do about the 2 goals. Sets it down to Doué on the right hand side. His yellow card, the first yellow card of the contest. It's going to Doué again. Wide to Gessim Yassin. Haven't been able to really get their wide men on the ball too much of Strasbourg. This is Barco. Coming deep is El Marabat. And they're relying on Julio Enciso up top. Can't get Amiga fit, and losing Panicelli is a massive blow to them, and he was the mainstay of their attacking threat. Absolute devastating blow for the 20-goal striker who's been brilliant this season for Strasbourg. Argentine, brought in from Alaves player. He's only 23. He is being looked at by Chelsea, but then Emmanuel Amiga is in a pre-contract arrangement to go to Chelsea this summer. Can't get a game for Strasbourg at the moment, so I just wonder where that agreement is going, because if you can't get a game for Strasbourg, he's not likely to get too much airtime at Stamford Bridge, is he? Maybe that might be a deal that is put on ice to see if he can rediscover form, but that's a poor pass from Godot straight to Viper, and Viper gets forward up towards the edge of the penalty area, ghosting wide to Nebel. Nebel into the penalty area, gets a shot across the face of goal, and sliding in to try and get the touch was Sota Kawasaki, and he very nearly did, and that would have been pretty much the death of Strasbourg had it gone in. Well, Nebel does very well. They're a cohesive side, Mainz, and they have played very well tonight. Experience, I mean, pound for pound, you know, the back line of Strasbourg, with the exception of Ben Chilwell, they're all under the age of 23. Their back 5 is all over the age of 28. In fact, 4 of the 5 are 32 or older. It's polar opposite as the ball comes in, and it's headed into the ground, and tipped over the crossbar, and that could have been 3-0. I think it was Dominic Kerr, but there was some pushing, and it wouldn't have counted. So header down. It wasn't Kerr that was doing the pushing. In fact, it was Sylvain Vidmore that headed it towards goal. It was Kerr that was actually in there as part of the frack-up. Here's Douay down the line to Barco. Can't control. It's gone out of play for a throw, which is taken by the Mainz left wing back, Philippe Mwene. Still 0-0 between Shakhtar Donetsk and AZ Alkmaar. Still 0-0, although there was a goal disallowed for Bologna. It's Bologna 0, Villa 0 in the Europa. And here they come again down the left-hand side with Nebel. It's good blocking by Maxi Oyadali. At the moment they're being stretched a little too often. Oh, Strasbourg. Just wonder what Gary O'Neill can do. Well, do you know what? The Strasbourg fans have travelled in their numbers and they're all on their feet, dancing, singing and waving from side to side. They're embracing this European adventure as the ball is delivered to the far side. And right at the far post was Nelson Viper, who managed to get high. In fact, Philip Tietzen managed to get height on his jump. And he's turned it back across the face of goal, but it's looped out for a goal kick. I think if Strasbourg could take a 2-0 right now, they would for the second leg, just to keep it alive. Out wide by Samir El Murabat. The long ball will be chased by Enciso. Again, Enciso is a far more productive player, playing in a number 10 role. I wonder how long it is before he makes a punt on Amiga. There's a ball into the channel here, and there could be more problems as Kawasaki travels forward, and he brings in Vidmar. Vidmar's into the penalty area. Can he get the cross in? Yes, he can, but it's cut out by Amabama-Deli, who rams his clearance away. Amabama-Deli couldn't get a game under Leon Rossignol. He's getting a regular game under Gary O'Neill. So Gary O'Neill, food for thought. There is a bit of a concern at the moment for Ismail Doucouré, who's taken a knock, but he says to the referee he's okay. So, Strasbourg with Ben Chilwell bringing the ball out from the back. Amabama-Deli, once of Nottingham Forest and Norwich, Republic of Ireland international. He's given the ball away though. Good control from Tietz from the pass from Sana. They've just got a little bit more nous about them. Mainz are 2-0 up, and they are looking the likelier to score at the moment. This is more danger. It's Nebel who's causing problems in the inside left channel, but goes through the back of Douay, brings him down, and that's going to be a free kick. It's a very young Strasbourg side. That is the blueprint, that is the philosophy. It's frustrating for these young players, but at the same time it's a massive learning curve and a massive experience playing in a European quarter-final. Long ball from Douay. It's gone straight through beyond Enciso. Well, last weekend against Nice it worked with Enciso, but they had Nanasi giving support as well, and the Swede is only on the bench tonight. Just think they miss this attacking spark that they're missing at the moment. I don't know how, is it Moreira, who's been carrying a groin injury? He's on the bench tonight, and Muamayo could play down the right wing. Is he a new option? Amiga, do they chance him? Nanasi. they've got the options. They've also got two youngsters on the bench in Cordio and Bosi, who've never even made a first-team appearance for the club. So they've got players out injured at the moment. It's a free kick to Strasbourg inside their own half. It came about because of a challenge from behind on Gessim Yassin by Philippe Mwene. And in a few seconds' time, we'll be entering the final 5 minutes of the first half, and they need to get in 2-0 at half-time if they can't get a goal, Strasbourg, because they don't want to be conceding a third. It's been a very comfortable first half for Urs Fischer and for Die 0-5. Mainz leading by 2-0. Keshu Sanu with his second goal of the season. Stefan Posch with his second goal of the season. Goalkeeper Daniel Batz has the ball. Five of the starting 11 for Mainz over the age of 30. The oldest player for Strasbourg is 29-year-old Ben Chilwell. There's a vast gulf in experience between the two sides, even though this is the first ever European quarter-final for Mainz. And likewise for Freiburg tonight, who are 2-0 up as well against Celta Vigo in the first leg. 2-0 for Crystal Palace against Fiorentina as well. 1-1 between Porto and Forest. Backwards from Doué to Omar Bama-Deli. Doucouré brings in Chilwell. Back again to Omar Bama-Deli. Doué in the right back position. Plays it wide to Yassin. Yassin is sent tumbling to the floor yet again by Mwene. Free kick taken quickly by Barco, and he takes it back again. Does Barco trying to thread it through? Can't do so. It's been sent out wide to Doué by Yassin. So what's the referee pulled that one back for? It might have been a handball against Yassin. I think it was. Referee spotted it. Well, having gone 1-0 down and the goal been disallowed, Aston Villa are leading in Italy against Bologna by 1-0. And would you believe it, having scored the own goal, which was then disallowed by the way, it's Ezri Konsa who scores for Villa. 2.5 minutes to go until half-time. Here's Ben Chilwell, gets it wide, and they need to do this more. Godo, chance to get at defender Vidna, gets the cross in and plucked out of the air rather easily, really, by Daniel Batz. Not a bad night for the English sides tonight. Forest drawing in Porto, which would be a good result if they could come away from there without defeat. Villa winning away in Italy. Palace 2-0 up on Italian opponents as well in Fiorentina. French football represented by Paris Saint-Germain as well. Bayern Munich are in the Champions League. That looks like it could well be the most mouth-watering of semi-finals, couldn't it? Paris Saint-Germain against Bayern Munich. That is quite some time. That would be the good final, that one, wouldn't it? Doué finding Gessim Yassin. Well, he'd done well to get past the defender and then went back looking for afters, and that's where he gave the ball away. But he's been brought down for a third time in about 5 minutes by Mwene. He must surely eventually get a yellow card for all these continuous fouls. As we move into the final minute of the first 45. Free kick for Strasbourg. Barco is standing over it. So too is Samir Al-Murabat, the young Moroccan. Needs to be a quality delivery. If they could get a goal now, it would be a massive boost for La Racing. Marco moves away. It's going to be Al-Murabat. There's a two-man wall in his way. He curls out one in. It should be. And, well, I was going to say it was Daniel Bats's to take, but he slipped it through his fingers and then had to react to the loose ball and pushes it behind for a corner. So it wasn't great goalkeeping that from Daniel Bats. Just slipped through his fingers slightly. One minute of added time. I don't think it'll be too much. It's been pretty free-flowing. Julio Enciso will take this corner. It's a very cramped and crowded 6-yard box. Referee's in there, sorting things out between Poch and Omobama Deli. I think Decore's very happy with something either. Dominic Cure is being spoken to, along with Decore, the referee from Slovenia, Rade Obrenovic. Well, we're into 30 seconds of stoppage time. Decore and Cure have made up. They continue to pull each other's shirts. The ball comes in. It's punched away from underneath the crossbar from Bats. Picked up by Barco. Curls it back out to the left-hand side again. And this is Enciso. Enciso, 2 to beat. Tackle comes in from Nelson Viper, who's back there helping out with the defensive duties. He's gone out for a throw to Strasbourg, but they won't get to take that throw because the half-time whistle has gone. And it's Mainz that are in control of this game. Keiju Sanu and Stefan Poch with the 2 goals in the first half. They're in control of this game. At half-time, Mainz 2, Strasbourg 0. And it goes without saying, we will, of course, have the second half for you right after this short break. Welcome back to our audio commentary coverage of Mainz against Strasbourg. We're at the Maybar Arena, and the German side, Mainz, have a good 2-goal cushion to protect going into this second half. Goals 8 minutes apart early on in the game from Keisha Sano and Stefan Posch. And they've been the dominant force as well, have the home side. And now it's Strasbourg who have to dig deep just to stay in this tie ahead of the second leg at the Stade de la Manu in 7 days' time. First ever European quarter-final tonight for Mainz. A historic night, and it's proving a great night for them as well. Haven't changed anything so far at Strasbourg. Come out of the back with Ismail Decore on the left-hand side of that pairing with Omar Bamadeli. Barco leaves it for Chilwell, back to Decore again, and then inside it goes to Maxi Oyedele, the Polish international. Wide on the right-hand side is Gassim Yassin. Good possession this from Strasbourg in the opening minute or so of the second half. Run through the two teams for you. Mainz in red and white shirts and white shorts and red socks. They've got Bats in goal, a back three of Da Costa, Posch and Kerr. Wing backs in Vidma, the captain, and Mwenek. The Nebel, Sano and Kawasaki in midfield, and Viper and Tits, the two strikers. Strasbourg trying to deliver a ball high into the penalty area off of Samir El Murabat, but that's easy for Daniel Batz to just pluck out of the air. He gets it back now from Kerr, delivers a high clearance which has got more height than distance. Douay plays it forward, and Yassin back inside to El Murabat, makes room, gives it to Chilwell, 25 yards from goal, onto the left foot, gets it wide. This is Martial Godot. Throw in off of Sylvain Vidma. He's not got much change out of Vidma so far. Godot is in top form. 7 appearances in this competition before tonight. 4 goals, 3 assists. That's 7 goal involvements in 7 games. That's a goal a game. It doesn't need to be. You don't need to be an mathematician to work that one out. Obviously, it's always whipped out wide to the right-hand side for Maxi Oyedele. It's played forward by Douay. It's picked up by Enciso. He's not a happy man playing up on his own up top. It's not his favoured position. He's not a maestro when it comes to scoring goals. He's got 10 in all competitions this season, Enciso, but he'd rather be playing out wide or in the number 10 in the pocket. Here's Barco. Good play by Godot. That's better. Held up well by Ben Chilwell, and then played up towards Godot again on the edge of the penalty area left-hand side. Cuts inside, gets away from Danny Da Costa. Ben Chilwell gets it wide to Barco. Barco, the Argentine. Chilwell. Decore. Lots of possession from Strasbourg early in this second half. They've come out keeping ball. Will it reap dividends? Because one stray pass from Maxi Oyedele has suddenly let the home side in, and they can drive forward with Nebel to the edge of the penalty area. It's teed up and it's tipped over the top of the crossbar. The shot from Philip Tetz, the save from Penders, and that could have been game over in the blink of an eye. All the possession in the world from Strasbourg, and then suddenly one poor pass and they were picked off, and that was goal bound. Penders with the save. Good save from the Leone from Chelsea. Corner kick which Nebel will take. Paul Nebel, the academy graduate. So this one deep into the box. It's headed away by Barco, and then it's been left, and it was at complete free run at goal again for Posh, and he's got the shot in and it's pushed away, but it was a foul. It wouldn't have counted. The referee's whistle had gone. Well, Posh got two swipes of the cherry there. Two bites of the cherry, two swipes of the ball. And well, the first one was blocked. The second one, well, it wouldn't have mattered. It was a good save actually from Penders, but he committed a foul somewhere in the equation. So, still 2-0. I haven't gone through the Strasbourg side for you. It's as you were at the beginning. Penders in goal. Back four of Douay, Omabama-Deli, Doucouré and Chilwell. In midfield, El Marabat, Oyedele and Barco. And in Yassin and Godo, the two wide men supporting Julio and Ciso in attack. Headline team news. Ye Sung Lee, the influential midfielder, missing with a slight muscle strain picked up in training yesterday for Mainz. Becker is also out. Panakali out for the season, the top scorer for Strasbourg, and they've just gone and won a corner here. Good pressure from Barco on the far side. It came off of Dominic Kurt, the experienced defender. Happy to see that one float behind for a corner. In front of the travelling Strasbourg fans behind that goal away to our left. It's less than 100 miles between these two cities, Strasbourg and Mainz. They're up on the Rhine for this one. Porto 1, Forest 1. Villa are now 2-0 up in Italy against Bologna. Nasri Conja got the first one. Here comes the corner from Chilwell. Comfortable header away though from Dominic Kurt. And the second goal is from Ollie Watkins for Aston Villa. Ball delivered back into the box by Strasbourg, and it's far too deep from Barco. Goes straight behind for a goal kick. Much better from Strasbourg in the early stages of the second half. They do need to, at the very least, keep it as it is. Anything more than a two-goal cushion and it would be a almighty struggle, I'm sure. For Strasbourg, and they've got to cut out this attempted through ball. Doucouré does exactly that, and with the help of Chilwell, gets the ball clear. As Strasbourg move forward through the gears into the box, and Paul Nebo with a shot. It's saved again by Penders, who's being kept busy, and that Strasbourg goal cleared away by Douay. I think it's going to be a corner. And it was a good cut back from Nubel, and it was a shot from Tietz. A good, strong right hand. So, corner to Mainz, looking to kill this game off, which effectively a third goal would do. Can he get the cross in? Well, he's done really well to dig that one out, and the header over the bar from Nelson Viper, and he climbed high there, and he caused all sorts of problems with his aerial prowess. But the cross from Paul Nebel, I mean, how he's dug that one out, I'm not too sure, but it was brilliant. Really good play. So, a goal kick to Strasbourg, who consider themselves perhaps a shade lucky that they are just 2-0. Douay plays it inside. This is Yassi. Just that little bit lacking of experience maybe has found them wanting tonight, I think, Strasbourg. There's Godo. So no doubt that Godo is a real talent. And the winners of this tie will play probably Rayo Vallecano in the semi-final. They're 3-0 up on AEK Athens from earlier on today. Still the second leg to come in Greece. It's not over yet, but it's looking like it could be Mainz against Vallecano. And the other tie, Shakhtar and AZ Alkmaar still goalless, and Crystal Palace 2-0 up on Fiorentina. Final, by the way, is in Germany. Incentive there for Mainz. It's at the other side of the country, though. It was decided a couple of years ago that it would be this year in Conference League final at Leipzig, the Red Bull. Well, here's Omar Bamadeli. Strasbourg would love to be there. At the moment, they are 2-0 down and they've got some catching up to do. Winners of this tie will be away in the first leg of the semi-final as well. Villa winning comfortably. Forest love a 1-1 draw away at Porto today. That's what they got at the moment. Freiburg winning 2-0 against Celta Vigo. 2-0 here, 2-0 to Palace against Fiorentina. Still goalless between Shakhtar and AZ Alkmaar. Decore hits the feet of El Marabat, who gets it out wide, and this is Yassin. Waits for the overlap of Dewey, then comes back inside. Clever play from him. It's kept moving by Oyedele into the penalty area. Oh, it was the one big chance for Julio Enciso, and he has tried to flick it past the goalkeeper but didn't get enough power on it, and the goalkeeper goes down and makes a pretty smart save at the feet of Enciso. The Paraguayan just couldn't dig it out from underneath him. Wonderful opportunity for Strasbourg to really get back into this tie. Attempts on target, 5 from the home side, 2 from the French visitors. 57 gone. It is 2-0 to Mainz. They have a throw-in about 15 yards ahead of the halfway line inside the Strasbourg half. It's going to be taken by the left wing-back, Philip Morena. He's getting it back as well, off of the big man, Philip Tietz. One back by El Marabat. Long ball from Oyedele, trying to pick out Enciso, but asking a lot of Enciso. With a flying header right on the edge of the penalty area by the goalkeeper Daniel Batts. Well, it looked like to me he could have just taken a step backwards and caught that, but maybe that's me just seeing it differently to how the goalkeeper sees it in real life situations. But 2-0 up, he can afford to just take a chance and head it away. And here come Mainz again. It's a lovely ball with the outside of the right boot. He's a real talent pool, Neville. Young player, German under 21. He hasn't quite made the full German squad. He's been linked to a call-up, but so far it hasn't really happened for him. Cool. Back to goalkeeper Batts. Batts sends it long to Tietz. Tietz got the 2 goals at the weekend in the 2-1 win away at Champions League chasing Hoffenheim. Offside flag goes up against Nelson Viper. Free kick to Strasbourg, midway inside their own half, which is going to be taken quickly here by Ismail Decore. Just plays it short to Chilwell, into the feet of Maxi Oyedele. Former Legia Warszawa player, former Manchester United man, Oyedele. Here he is now, scooping the ball out to the far side of the pitch, and Gwilla Dewey, younger brother Desiree Dewey, amongst the goals last night as Paris Saint-Germain made light work of Liverpool in the first leg of the Champions League quarter-final. Now a shot coming in and across the face of goal from Valentin Barco, but it was always flying wide. Better from Strasbourg, but you feel as if they're always taking a chance. And for whilst they have put all this possession together in the second half, it's their goalkeeper that's been kept busier. So a goal kick to Mainz. leading here comfortably 2-0. 2-0 would be a very decent scoreline to take to France for the second leg in a week's time. Just coming up to the hour mark. Header away by Ducouré. Drops for Sylvain Vidmar. Vidmar dispossessed by Ben Chilwell, who can bring it up towards the halfway line. He's being pursued by Soto Kawasaki. There's two Japanese internationals in the midfield. Sano and Kawasaki worked really hard for Mainz. They are without the Korean Jae Sung-yi tonight with a slight knock. He's not even on the bench. Referee has spotted the assistant referee on the far side, Gregor Koresh, who's stuck a flag in the air. It's an offside decision against Barco. Here come once again, dribbling run from Kawasaki, gets it wide to Mwena. Mwena comes inside. This is Nabel. Worked really hard in the midfield tonight, Mainz, for me. I think they've won the battle against an inexperienced three of Samer El Murabat, Oyedele and Barco. Talented though they are. There's a free kick being given inside the penalty area to the defending side, Strasbourg. It's a foul by Paul Nebel. And there are 6 ties currently being played, and 4 of those 6 games are 2-0, including this one. Villa 2-0 up, Freiburg 2-0 up, Crystal Palace 2-0 up, Mainz 2-0 up. 2 German and 2 English sides 2-0 up. The exceptions: Porto 1, Nottingham Forest 1, and Shakhtar Donetsk 0, AZ Alkmaar 0. Ducouré to the feet of Maxi Oyedele. He looks very comfortable with the ball. Listen, he's been at Manchester United. He's a Polish international. Legia Warszawa, very good, talented young player. Fits the mould for Strasbourg, 21-year-old. Just somewhere along the lines, they just need a little bit more going forward. They need something to link Enciso. It's just something missing there at the moment. But they're not yet showing any signs of bringing on an Amu Amayo or a Moreira or an Anassi or an Amiga. Do have options on the bench. Here's Ben Chilwell on the halfway line. Is it inside Oyedele? Curls it to the right and Doué. Doué hits the feet of Gessim Yassin. Back inside, this is Enciso, driving run from him, twisting, turning, but the 4-5 nearest players to him are all wearing red shirts, and that makes it incredibly difficult. It's been won back on the far side by Yassin, but determination from Mwena takes it back off of him, and then Mwena is tripped by a frustrated Gessim Yassin. And I do think that it's going to be sooner rather than later. In fact, it's going to be now that the changes are made. The first one, Moreira, will come on for Oyedele. So the holding midfielder makes way. Moreira comes on. Barco will go a little more central. And Amiga comes on, and Moreira as well. As we just mentioned, Amiga comes on to lead the line. So a double change for Strasbourg. They needed something up top. Amiga, the man to provide it. It's going to be a goal kick. Came off of Doué and then hit Nabel and went out for a goal kick. Amiga on for Yassine, no surprise that he's gone off. That means that Cisse will go towards the right, I suspect. Marshall Godo will anyway, and then Cisse will drop in behind. Yeah, I think Godo will stay on the left, and Cisse will go central behind Amiga. So push for Chilwell on Sanu. Referee's come across just to calm things down. Chilwell did seem to push Kawasaki. Well, he was laughing, Kawasaki. Chilwell certainly didn't see the funny side of whatever was said there. So, Chilwell with the throw for Strasbourg. Now a chance in Cisse to shine in a position he much more favours, but it's into the penalty area at the other end, and it's a chance maybe here for Tietz. Can't get his shot away. It's bouncing around for Strasbourg's fullback. Chilwell goes out of play, and it will be a throw into La Racing. Cleared away by Chilwell up to the halfway line. Stooping header back by Posh. One by Barco. Plays it square to Murabat. El Murabat and Barco will work together as a two in the midfield. Got to try and find an away goal if they can. Here, La Racing, there are no away goal rules anymore, but an away goal would give them something. Here's Godo. Squares it back to Chilwell. Early ball into the box. In goes Amiga. Can't get there ahead of Posh, who gets the ball away. And picked up by Amarabat. Wide by Doué. To Moreira, who has been carrying a groin strain. Moreira whipped into the box and scuffed away by Kurt. Then taken on the chest by Nibal. One back by Almarabat. Good driving run from Almarabat. He's brought down on the edge of the penalty area. Referee from Slovenia, Radi Obrenovic, says no foul. It's held up well by Tietz on the halfway line, and he brings in Mwene. Mwene cuts inside. Not too much ahead of him, but he does squeeze the ball out to the right-hand side, but it will come straight through to Godo. Godo finding Barco. It's an open game now. That little tactical switch from Strasbourg has opened things up. And here goes Amiga into the box. Gets the cross in, and it's cleared away in the nick of time by Stefan Posch. Here goes Godo again. This is better from Strasbourg. Into the box. Barco can't quite find the return for Godo. Vidma puts it behind for a corner. And the changes have livened up the Strasbourg side. Corner will be taken by Julio Enciso. 68 minutes gone. We're just past the midway point in the second half. 2-0 would be a good scoreline for Mainz to take with them into the second leg. Corner comes in from Enciso, and he's floated that straight into the arms of the goalkeeper Daniel Batz. He couldn't have envisaged it being quite that easy. And there's going to be some more changes. 3. The 22, 14 and 11 coming on. Nelson Viper is the first player to come off. Wene's coming off as well. And Kawasaki will come off too. So Kawasaki makes way, Viper makes way, Wene makes way. It's like Vrachnik will go in at left fullback. Bovid comes in as well. He plays a kind of wing back on the left hand side. Vrachnik has gone into the right, and it'll be Armindo Sieb who goes up top. He's on loan from Bayern Munich. He's got 3 goals this season, the former Griffith Firth player. The likes of Harry Kane of competition. He's not very high up the pecking order at the Allianz. So a low move here makes very good sense, but he's not incredibly highly up the Mainz striking pecking order at the moment. Armando Sib. So a free kick just outside the penalty area, wide on the right hand side. It's going to be taken by Paul Nebel. He's going to whip this one in, right footed. Raises his right arm. Slips it in towards the back edge of the box. Rising high was Poch, couldn't quite get a connection with the header. Comes out to Sanu, switches it to his right foot. The cross is headed away by Samer El Murabat. The back, it's Dominic Cure. Goes back to goalkeeper Daniel Batts. A long clearance forward from him. Interesting ball over the top. Penders comes out. It was coming over the shoulder of Philip Tietz, but it's an incredibly difficult manoeuvre to take on board. They'll do it. Moves it out wide to Moreira. How fit is Moreira is the big question. He has had this groin problem niggling at him for a week or three. Chilwell. And Omar Deli, former side Nottingham Forest are, of course, in action tonight. Away at Porto. Gary O'Neill won't be too bothered about the scoreline in that one, but I can tell you it's 1-1. Murabat plays it out to the far side of the pitch, and it's wide by Godo. Now the cross comes in from Moreira. It's an interesting one. Godo's sniffing inside the penalty area. It'll come back out for Barco. Barco tries to go on the outside, but he's matched by Borving. So Borving has gone in at the right side, and it does look as if Farashnik has gone in at left wing back. A strange one that, but sure there's a reason behind it for coach Urs Fischer. Played 72, 18 to go. It's 2-0 up after 20 minutes, and that's how it stays now with 20 minutes to go. And forward by Danny Da Costa. In the midfield, the busy Keishu Sano. Played out wide by Posh. This is Varachnik. Varachnik finding Nebel. Varachnik again, all the way back to his goalkeeper. They've just got to keep it tight, Mainz. They've got a lot of injuries at the moment. The tie is still just about alive if it stays like this. Especially if Strasbourg can find the first goal in the return at the Stade de la Menu. All attendance here today, it's a full house, 32,000. If Mainz could get a third, it really does put them in complete control of this time. But here's Chilwell, managing to find El Marabat. That's good play by Enciso. Enciso into the penalty area. This is Barco. Can he get the shot away? Barco, he's still going. He hits the bar. And then the rebound is lashed in towards goal. And Moreira is denied by the gloves of the goalkeeper. And then Amiga with a header which is wide. And that was a big double chance for Strasbourg to get themselves back into the game. And how unlucky was Valentin Barco. Gets the ball, beats one, beats two, keeps going to the left, waits, bides his time, beats another, shoots and hits a post. Really unlucky. Valentin Barco, the former Brighton man, and then the header from Amiga wide after Moreira had a stinging shot pushed out by the goalkeeper. Really unlucky, hit the join of bar and post. The only game without a goal tonight is Shakhtar Donetsk against AZ Alkmaar, but that one is being played in Poland, and I can tell you that Shakhtar have taken the lead in that game. Shakhtar 1, AZ Alkmaar 0. So eventually the deadlock broken thanks to a goal Pedrino, Brazilian. Well, Strasbourg could have been right back in it there. So unlucky. Barco came back off the join of post and bar. Here's Godot trying to get himself forward. He knock and go. He's just too much on it though, and it runs out for a goal kick as we enter the final 15 minutes of the game. Well, it could be a big 15 minutes in the grand scheme of 180 minutes of two-legged tie. Strasbourg can get one back. It gives them the initiative going into the second leg, as where if Mainz can add a third, then they would go to France as clear and overwhelming favourites. It stays at 2-0. You still fancy the German side, but that's a great ball from Barco, and here's a run from Enciso into the penalty area, gets past one, but mopping up at the back was Dominic Cure. And they'll start over again now with El Morabat to Doué. They're really putting the pressure on now, Strasbourg, and Doué makes a run down the right. He gets to the byline, he whips the cross in, it comes back through to Godot, he gets a touch on it, can't quite find Barco. It's not been properly cleared. El Morabat winning the loose ball, but then swept away by Poch. Now Dominic Cure. Back to Poch again, inside his own penalty area. Lifts it out wide to the right-hand side. It's not the same swagger from Mainz at the moment, but they do try and break away with Billy and Boving. Boving finding Tietz. Tietz gets it wide. This is Nebel. His shot is blocked, and the attempted clearance away was rather scuffed by El Morabat. Goes straight to Boving, gets the cross in, and this time El Morabat wraps his laces round it and clears for touch on this near side and a throw-in. Freiburg 3, Celta Vigo 0 here in Germany in the other game that's been played tonight. That's in the Europa League quarter-final first leg. Quite game over, but Celta Vigo have an awful lot to do. Podolski is about to come on for the home side. Polish under 21 international, he's only 18. Square, and there might be a strike of goal here. It's shot and turned back again across the face of goal, and Penders did enough, and when it was turned back by Boving, there was no one there. It was just too acute, the angle, and then suddenly the long ball forward, and Amiga could put some pressure on. He does hook it away from Dominic Cure, and he's fouled there, Amiga, so a free kick to Strasbourg midway inside the Mainz half. Foul by Poch on Amiga. 12 minutes to go. They can get one back. It really is game on. Here's Moreira. Chance to try and take on Vrachnik. He does beat him. And now Moreira chips it to the far post, and it's caught up high by Daniel Batz, who quickly releases the ball down the right-hand side. They're still waiting to get Podolski on. Long ball down the middle, and here's Tietz. He gets a shot away, but Omar Bamadeli done enough to stick with him every inch of the way, and that's prevented him from getting the shot in on goal. In fact, Omar Bamadeli has picked up a knock. Here comes the change. Catchba about to come on. And the player that he replaces is Sylvain Vidma. Means that Boving will drop in. In fact, he won't. I think it will be Podolski that will go in at right wing back. So a corner to Mainz. I think it's fair to say neither side is sitting back, resting on their laurels as the ball is hit from distance by Boving over the crossbar and out for a goal kick. Every single tie in the Conference League is being won by the home side. Shakhtar are 1-0 up. Mainz and Palace 2-0 up. Vallecano won 3-0 against AEK Athens earlier on today. Well, Strasbourg aren't out of this tie yet, not by any stretch of the imagination. That shot by Barco goes in rather than coming back off of the frame of the goal. It could have been a different story. They're really unlucky. At the moment, they're having a good spell. Here's Amiga into the penalty area. Holds it up, waits for support. That support comes in Godo. Godo hangs one to the back post. It's not a great ball in from Godo. It flies over the head of Barco and straight out for a goal kick. Mainz are back into it on Sunday with a home game here against Freiburg before their trip to Strasbourg, and then an away game against Borussia Mönchengladbach before a home game here against the champions-elect Bayern Munich, who could actually win the title here if they haven't already won it. Strasbourg's weekend is free. They've been given the stand down, so they've got no game this weekend. They next in action a week today against Mainz. They host Rennes in a big showdown between two sides chasing European football next season. Then the Coupe de France semi-final at home to struggling Nice, which they'd be expected to win that one. And a trip to Lorient, who have had a fabulous first season back in the French top flight. So some sticky games coming up, some important games for Strasbourg. Here's Barco, turns. Chips it out towards Godo, but it's cut out by Danny Da Costa. His clearance goes straight back to Godo. It's a turn and a shot over the crossbar from Enciso from 25 yards. A degree of instinctiveness about that from the Paraguayan. He has double figures goals-wise this season, does Julio Enciso. Keep that one down though. Amiga actually has 5 goals, which is incredible really, considering he's barely played any football. He had an injury, long-term injury, didn't come back till just before Christmas, scored 5 goals and thought he was back to his best, but he picked up another injury. And Marabat to Chilwell. They're about to bring on a change in personnel, and it looks like Nanasi is going to come on at last for the last 7 minutes plus injury time. Here's Barco. As I look down the middle, Amiga trying to run off the defender. The goalkeeper came out just in the nick of time to gather the ball around about the penalty area mark. Penalty spot mark, I should say. Good solid header from Omar Bamadeli. Flicked up in the air by Moreira. Brings it down, sends it back to Doué. Keeps it under control and sends it to the centre circle for his captain Ismail Doucouré, just inside his own half, now down the left-hand side. Doucouré plays it backwards to Chilwell. And all the way back from Doucouré to Omar Bamadeli and out wide to Doué. Omar Bamadeli again. Shakhtar now 2-0 up. So the 3 games in the Europa League playing at the moment are all 2-0 to the home side. Shakhtar have a good advantage there against the Dutch side. Doué. Wide to Moreira, who's looked quite lively down the right-hand side. It's certainly an upgrade from Yassi. And Marabat finding Godo. Doucouré. And Ciso. Well, Marabat can't reach it though. Frustration for Strasbourg. Aston Villa are the only side in Europe in all the competitions being played tonight that are winning away from home. They are 2-0 up in Italy against Bologna. It was all looking very comfortable. Nanasi is the man coming on here. Villa have, however, just been reduced to 10 men. A second yellow card in the game with 4 minutes to go for Morgan Rogers. So he will set out the second leg next week because of suspension. He's been sent off. And Nanasi is on as they give it a good go here. Barco turns and gets away from his man. They're on top at the moment at Strasbourg. Even if they don't score here, they'll feel that they've done enough to suggest that they're in with a shout. That was nearly a great ball to the far post by Barco, and he was sniffing for a chance there, Amiga. Didn't quite make it to him. It was a good clearance away by Posh. Mainz 2, Strasbourg 0. It remains here with 4.5 minutes to go. To the right foot of the goalkeeper, clears under pressure from Amiga. Well, is there another goal in this game? Is there a twist? Here come Mainz into the penalty area. Sieb gets to the byline. Good sliding challenge by the Decore to prevent him from getting any further. Puts it behind for the corner. Boving will take the corner, places it in the quadrant, actually places it on the line rather than the periphery as it is so often used. Omega has come back to try and help out. In comes the cross from Boving. Nearly landed again for Stefan Poch there, firstly with a header and then with a shot, but they can break away. It was a stuttering touch from Enciso, which has allowed Nebel to run into the penalty area. About to Sano, and then a shot across the face of goal, and just needed a touch from Philip Tietz, but it wasn't quite in the right place for him. A bit of a let-off maybe there for Strasbourg. They get a third goal now. You really do think it is game over. Mainz having to defend. That 2-goal advantage. Now Shakhtar the next 3. Answered out Mark 0. That was 0-0 about 15 minutes ago. It's 3-0 now to the Ukraine side. Throw down the line from Douay. He's got another throw now. Just need the ball. One ball's gone into the crowd. The next spare ball is some way down the touchline. It's been thrown back by Moreira. Douay takes the throw. Gets it back from Barco. Douay digs it out, but it goes straight to Vrachnik. And Vrachnik can break away on the left-hand side. It's on the halfway line. Holds it up. Allows Barco and a couple of other blue-shirted Strasbourg players to get back behind the ball. And there's a foul on Vrachnik. He gets up to his feet, and it's a free kick for Mainz. The 90 seconds of the 90 minutes remaining. A change is afoot, and off comes Nebel. He's going to be replaced by Leonard Maloney, a holding midfielder who is a USA international. He's got 2 caps, but doesn't seem to be in Richard Pochettino's considering for the World Cup, you would think. Leonard Mahoney. A Dortmund player as well as Heidenheim. It's Bologna 1, Aston Villa 2. Bologna have given themselves a fighting chance. Going to still need to win at Villa Park next week, but they're going to have to win by just 1 goal to take it to extra time. Vrachnik Again, striding forward down the left-hand side. It needs a cross. Sano prevents it from going into the fullback's clutches, and he knocks it early into the box. There's Voracnik trying to find Tietz at the back post. He got a header in, but it was looping. Easy in the end for Mike Penders. Well, 90 minutes up, 4 minutes of added time are now being played. Mainz 2, Strasbourg 0. Mainz with their first ever European Cup quarter-final. Strasbourg did actually play in the quarter-final of the European Cup in 1980. They lost to Ajax a year after winning French Ligue 1 title for the one and only time. Well, Mainz have made their 5 substitutions. Nanasi is on, so there's 3 substitutions on there now for Strasbourg. We've got 3 more minutes of stoppage time to go. Free kick to Mainz. Played short by Vrečnek. Vrečnek waits over on the left-hand side. Then a Baloney whips it in. It's a dangerous-looking ball. Banadelli is happy to jump highest and guide it behind for a corner. 4 games being played in the first legs have gone 3-0, 2-0, 2-0 and 3-0 at home. You fancy all 4 to carry it through, but Alkmaar, Strasbourg, Fiorentina and Athens have got plans to try and hatch a comeback. It's not going to be easy. It's the beauty of European football, two-legged football. Here comes the corner from Borvik. Interesting outswing up in the air from Omar Bamadelli. Wins the second ball as well. Seemed to almost hit him on the arm, but cleared away by Strasbourg. There's no one up top to make it stick. At the moment, it's Mainz that have got the upper hand. They go back to their goalkeeper, Daniel Batz. Halfway through 4 minutes of stoppage time. It's Posh. This goal made it 2-0, and it's given them a real cushion for the second leg. They're looking for a third, which would be a killer blow into the penalty area. It wouldn't stick for Tietz. And now Enciso plays it out to Barco. Barco just delayed his run. I think he thought the Moreira was going to get there. In the end, neither of them got there and might win it back again. Villa have gone 3-1 up in Italy against Bologna, despite the sending off of Morgan Rogers for 2 yellows. So they get a goal back late on through the former Norwich man, Jonathan Rowe. Ollie Watkins has scored his second goal of the game. 3-1 Villa lead. We're into the last minute of the 4 minutes of added time. One last chance maybe for Strasbourg. Long ball forward towards Amiga. Over the top from Chilwell. Amiga goes bulldozing through. Knocks a defender and a goalkeeper out the way, but without any great results. It was easy for Bats. And it's game management now, you would think, in the final 30 seconds from Mainz. Long ball thrust forward by Da Costa. Then cleared away by Cook. Nice flick on by Sano. Borvik. He's looked busy since he's come on, Borvik. Voracnik just guides it wide to Leonard Maloney. Maloney get the cross in. Zamindo Shieb. And then a little coming together between Doué and Armindo Seb. And the two have locked horns there, quite literally. They're head to head, and there was no contact from either of them. And players from both teams quickly arrived, but rather than falling out on one another, they've just arrived to try and diffuse the situation. And now Tietz has come over and confronted Moreira. Bamadelli pushes him away. Not something that Tietz has taken lightly. Sieba's got involved again, and even one of the substitutes has crossed the length of the field. And the steward has marched Moreira away, and now the yellow card is coming out, and I think the final whistle has gone in amongst all of that to try and diffuse the situation. But with Crystal Palace just going 3-0 up, by the way, against Fiorentina, that gives them a real sense of advantage. You can't see Palace conceding 3 goals at Fiorentina, can you? Well, you just never know. Fiorentina got to a few finals in the last few years, and the fallout is continuing now. Stewards and even the security are on the pitch to try and keep the players apart. Well, what this does do, and I'm not saying it's good for the game, it's not nice to see players falling out and fighting after the game. It's not a full-blown fight, it's just pushing and shoving. But it just puts a little bit of fire in the second leg, doesn't it? Puts a little edge into that game at the Stade de la Mena in 7 days' time. It's not over yet, you know. Strasbourg in the second half were better, and they created 1 or 2 chances, and they've shown enough to suggest that there might be a few opportunities in the second leg. There are yellow cards flying around everywhere from the referee. The 2 sets of players are still congregated in a big huddle over there. Part of it's a little bit of arguing more than pushing and shoving. Some of it's handshakes. I think it's all diffused now. But the final score here at the Mayvar Arena this evening on the banks of the Rhine, it's finished Mainz 2, Strasbourg 0. Second leg to come. Looking forward to that in 7 days' time. The tie is not quite done yet. Thank you for your company this evening. We'll catch you all again soon. Have a good night.